Hello and welcome. This session is going to cover the most important features included in Maligno version 2. There have been many changes since the last release, and right now I have the latest version available installed in this Kali Linux machine. So if we have a look at the directory, we could see that the structure is now a little bit more tidy, let's say. Here we have a docs folder now, including everything related to documentation and explanations. If we have a look at the changes, just quickly, I can tell you that now server multi-threading has been included. Instead of just relying on GET requests, Maligno now supports POST and HEAD as HTTP methods. So this means that the clients can request payloads via either GET, POST or HEAD. There is a new mode for the shells and the payloads, which is the perpetual mode, and this is something which allows you to get a shell automatically if the original one that you got in the system dies or is closed. So instead of running or needing to run the payload again, the shell will call home just automatically. The clients can now detect proxy settings. This is specifically done for static configurations. Proxy auto discovery is not implemented yet, but it will come in future versions. There have been many changes when it comes to the adversary replication features and functionality. Right now there are improvements when it comes to the ordering of the sorting of the request headers. Finally, we have some new profile that we will have a look at in this video, and at the same time lots of code housekeeping and improvements when it comes to the server, the client, and the actual client template that is used by Maligno for generating the final client that you can deploy on victims. Remember that any configuration files that you have from Maligno version 1 will not be compatible with version 2, because version 2 is including a few new fields and configuration settings which version 1 didn't have. So if we have a look at the configuration, the server is right now, if you see the file, is more or less the same structure, but now on the payloads we have this new setting which is perpetual, and just like I said before, this will allow you to run the payload in the client, in the victim machine, and if the session dies, the client will respawn another session automatically. Here you can set it to true or false. Also, when it comes to the server, you can activate multi-threading with this setting here. By default it's now enabled, but if you want to go to the traditional single-threaded server, you can actually just set here false, and everything should work as usual. On the profile side, let me show you the new changes. So now for the request, we have a new parameter which is the method, and here you can define get, post or head. And you will also see that the user agent is now removed from the client settings, and you can actually just include it as one more header. Also, the sorting of the headers will be honored by the client, so if you have a look at the traffic, if you inspect it with Wireshark, everything should look like exactly as you define here. So let's start. I have already generated a few clients, and it's deployed in our usual victim machine. Maligno, it's started as usual, and with the latest improvements that the Metasploit guys have introduced to the framework, changing the Ruby version and so on, the speed is also something that you can notice here. So Maligno is ready. We have the standard profile. Let me start Wireshark. And in the meantime, let's get in here in the resources. So let's start the services. And let's get our Metasploit running. So for this first demonstration, we are going to test the perpetual mode. Maligno is ready, Wireshark as well, and Metasploit. Here in our victim, let's just run the first one. Then uptime should be configured with 30 seconds. And here we have it. So let's suppose that for some reason you are interacting with your session. And for some reason it dies, or you have a disconnection, something goes wrong. So after 20 seconds, we should see that Meterpreter, there we will have a new shell respond automatically by the client, and this is using or reusing the payload that it got from Maligno the first time it connected to it. So here it comes, and here you have another session. So with one execution you can actually ensure that if something goes wrong, Meterpreter will phone home again. So we have everything here. Let's kill our sessions. Let's go back to the victim. And this time we are going to try the new profile that I showed you before. In this case is simulating some malware. It's the Encripto World version 3, and this time here we have the post method, and a few different fields over here. So let me close. Let's just change the server settings. And let's get Maligno in place. Metasploit here as well. And finally, let's start here we go. So this is the session, and if we have a look at Wireshark, let's stop and focus on, in this case, HTTP traffic, so we can actually see what's been going on. Here we have the first one, which was the standard profile, looking at the get method for requesting the payload from Maligno. And now, at this time, we can see that it's using post. So the original, here we see everything's showing exactly as you should have defined in your settings, in your profile. As you see, it's a get request. And if we go back and inspect the latest profile that we have configured, you should see that the information is now requested over a post request, and the information in this case is sent with hexadecimal encoding. If you try the same idea, but this time using head, you should see that the payload is sent in one of the headers. So you should get the same type of results, but using a head request. Well, these were a few of the features included in the new version of Maligno. I really hope that you got a better understanding, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.